And rightfully so. We're not, this is as political as we'll get. I'm not your enemy because I don't vote like you, right? I'm not, we should be able to disagree. And that's okay. It doesn't, I'm not your enemy.
I don't have any problem.
Right. You know what I mean? But we're not in that place anymore. And so flying those flags and those symbols and things, support our troops, does get lumped into other things now. Whether or not that person's aligned there, doesn't matter. Yours says support our troops because you literally support our troops. You know what I mean? And that's, the value of that is sometimes lost.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Yeah, I just wrote down some stuff. I don't know if anything applies.
Well, it all applies. Like I told you, the whole point of what I do is to find doers, right? And just to help, just find people that are doing stuff in their community, right? But one of the things I was talking to my wife about on the way up is the idea of why. Why do people do that? Why do you go out of your way to help people? Like, where does that come from? You know what I mean? Does it come from, was it an upbringing thing? Was it a traumatic experience? Was it just a way to cope? You know, so that's sort of the conversation I want to have today is about.
I think it came from my dad.
Yeah.
He was always that way.
And we're trying to find people that don't just do stuff for their mental health. That's why I do this. I drive around and I fish and I meet people and I just talk again for my mental health. You know, we try to find people through big neighborhood that are helping their communities. And we're really trying to talk about community health, you know, and how we all take care of each other. Because I think that's a piece of this thing that's disappearing rapidly.
We're not seeing it anymore.
My whole lifetime. I mean, I grew up in Eugene, Oregon, and it was, there was a sense of community there, right? Come here, Blue. Hey, everybody, that's Blue. We have one fan, so just for you, that was Blue. But we're going to go through this conversation, and I'm curious of your story because that does result in what you're doing now, right? I mean, it's who you are. You know, so welcome to the big neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you.
Briefly, I'm going to look this way at the camera, and Kelly's over there, so it helps. I travel around in my motorhome with my dog, and I fly fish, and I do things, and I just go to a lot of smaller towns to connect with people. And I met Tom. I'm here with Tom Cohn. We're in Eureka, California. I met Tom outside of a Chevron gas station. I think we spoke for about 10 minutes, maybe?
Maybe 15.
Yeah, maybe.
Gave you that.
Yeah, there was a couple minutes about the dog because you came to the motorhome because Oliver was in the window. And then I saw you get in your van. And your van made me go, wait, what is this guy doing? Right? And as we're talking right now, when we edit this, I will edit a picture of that van in so people can understand why it grabbed my attention. But for the first few minutes, we just talked about the dog and everything, and you were so kind to me and everything, and it was very easy. It was an easy conversation, right? And I went, okay. And then I walked over and I knocked on your window, and I go, what is your story? And you started to tell me what you did, and I was like, oh, okay. All right. And then I'm going to go through this part quick, and then we'll get started a little bit. But I told you that I travel around and I try to help people. We sell hoodies. Everybody buy a hoodie. We sell hoodies, and we donate 50% of the profit to people that we find. And we're not doing it to large organizations or anything like that because we can't touch that. We don't have that kind of power or even the resources to help there, really. And I don't know that some of them do a good job with those resources when they get them. I don't know. But we can make a real impact with small things. We can see that. You know, we went to Oregon and we delivered equipment so that people could do a podcast again for the Latinx community up there in Hood River. That was very tangible. We can see that. We can understand that our impact there. So with you, and I found that, and the first thing you said to me was, I don't need anything. I don't need any money. I don't need any help. And you showed me what you did with the pamphlets. And I was like, well, there's got to be something. And then you directed me towards the College of the Redwoods, which we'll get into later. So this was exactly the vision I have for this company, we're starting, right? Was the idea of meeting people that are doers, that are out there just doing good in the community. And then through them, finding an organization or a situation that we can then come in and help. And I would love to participate in that with the College of Redwoods for Wounded Warriors, right? So that's sort of the background as to how I met Tom. Outside a gas station, doing what I do, trying to talk to people and reconnect with humans. It's been a long few years of us not having any interaction with each other anymore, you know? So that being said, I'm glad you wrote this down. There's some notes you gave me on things that we can talk about and things you want to talk about because, man, I didn't know where to go with this.
If you want. I mean,
No, I would love to because I think a lot of, I don't even know where to start. Let's go back a little. Where are you from?
well, my dad was in the Navy for 30.
So you bounced around?
World War II. Went in as an E1 enlistment because his dad died and he wanted to send money home to his mother. And so he joined the Navy. And then, of course, World War II happened. And they weren't making much money, but he was still, because he had free food and free clothes and a place to live. So all the money that he got as his paycheck, he would send home to Burlington, Iowa, to where his mother was. And his father that died was a old steam locomotive engineer from Burlington, Iowa, to Denver. And but for some reason, I don't know why, he passed away.
So you bounce around? Like when I say when you grew up, a military family just kind of on the move constantly? Where did you end up eventually like finishing high school at, let's say?
Well, we started in El Paso, Texas.
Oh, okay.
He was teaching the Army guided missiles. And then we went to San Diego, Sangley Point, Philippines.
Oh, literally everywhere.
Virginia Beach, Virginia. And it was called Dam Neck, and he was teaching guided missiles again. And then we went to Mojave Desert, China Lake Naval Ordnance Test Station. Mm-hmm. And Bill McLean was the inventor of the Sidewinder missile. And very hush-hush, back in the day. And he was the what they call a logistics officer in charge of making sure everybody, worked together. And then they wouldn't let him become captain. He was a commander because he didn't go to college, which is BS.
So he could be an officer.
He was a commander officer.
Oh.
Went from E1 to ensign to lieutenant, JG to lieutenant commander to commander.
Gotcha.
But they wouldn't let him become captain because he didn't have college.
Gotcha.
And so he got out of the service, went to work for Philco, and they had...
For who?
Philco.
What's that?
Philco made radios and televisions back in the day. And they had in the Bay Area, and I believe it was Sunnyvale or Mountain View, these huge satellite dishes, and they would sell to the Air Force or NASA. I mean, huge, big, as big as this barn almost. And then Ford bought Philco in '64, and then he worked for them until he retired from them. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's why you see 64 and a half, they came out with a Mustang, and it had Philco radios in it.
Is that F? Philco? Oh,
P-H-I-L.
Gotcha. I don't even have any clue what that company is.
Yeah. TVs and radios way back in the day.
So you finished high school there?
In Menlo Park by Stanford University.
Oh, yeah.
A town called Menlo Park.
Yeah, I know where Menlo Park is. I was born in Oakland.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with the Bay Area.
Yeah,
I didn't spend much time there, but...
Right across the bay.
Yeah. And what year was that?
I graduated in '65.
So what does that make you? So you were born in what, 47?
47.
Yeah.
47, yeah.
Gotcha. So you graduate high school.
Went to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I couldn't do a 4-year degree because my grades weren't that well, so I did a 2-year technical.
At Cuesta?
No, at Cal Poly in San Luis.
Yeah, okay, at Cal Poly.
Yeah.
I was I lived in Morro Bay for a little bit with some
okay.
friends. I love that area.
A lot of surfing.
Yeah, a little creepy surfing. There are a lot of sharks up there. I didn't get too much surfing in there. So you graduate in '65.
Cal Poly. 2-year technical degree.
So 67, that's the year I was born. So in 67, is that when you enlisted, or did you get drafted?
No, I switched. My grades got better, and I graduated off the 2-year technical program, and I transferred to the 4-year technical or the 4-year animal science program.
Yeah, that's big there, huh?
But since I graduated after high school, then I got drafted because they said, "Oh, you completed a program in college, so now we're going to draft you." So I was going to get my draft notice, and so I was fighting it, went back to Menlo Park, went to Kenyatta Junior College up by San Mateo, got my transferred units and got my AAA degree, and they said, "Well, hey, we're going to draft you." So I ran down the Navy recruiter.
Gotcha. So born in 67, Generation X, mostly the 80s. We're kind of the slacker generation in a way. That draft notice.
Scary.
Yeah, how does that hit? I mean,
If
it
you-
comes by mail, I'm assuming, back then.
If you weren't disabled or had a medical condition, you were drafted, pretty much.
And at
Back in
that point, the
back
war
in
had been
day.
going on, what, 2 or 3 years?
You were sent to Vietnam.
But it had already been going on for 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah, Kennedy started it with military advisors even before it ever started.
So what did you know about that war at that time? When you were getting drafted, what did you know?
Just a lot of my friends from high school never made it home.
Gotcha.
A lot.
Gotcha. And you were, how old, 19, 20?
When I was going to get drafted, I was 21.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is there an age limit to being drafted?
I don't know.
I don't either. I have no idea.
Anybody that would breathe and walk, they were taking. Really. Unless you were.
So you enlisted in the Navy. You went down to the Navy then. Because when you get drafted, who do you get drafted by?
Navy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the Army.
Oh, gotcha.
But if you're in the Oakland Induction Center, at the time, if the Marines needed more bodies, they could take Army draftees. So when I was in the induction center for my physical in Oakland, across from us was probably 30, 35 Army draftees, and a drill sergeant in the Marine Corps comes out and says, "Gentlemen, stand up. You've just enlisted in the Marine Corps." And their faces.
Had you known that, you wouldn't have enlisted?
No. This is just the people over there that were drafted by the Army.
I got you.
And the Marine Corps recruiter
I
came
got
out.
you.
Not me. No, that came later for me after hospital corps school. Because the day we graduated from hospital corps school, I look outside and there's a cattle car, which is a semi with a trailer with benches in it. It said USMC Camp Pendleton. Came back inside and I go to the chief, the E7 chief, I said, "What's the deal?" "Oh, by the way, didn't we tell you?" I said, "What?" "I joined the Navy. I want to ship." "Oh, no. You're going to wear a Marine Corps uniform with Navy insignia. You're going to Camp Pendleton for 8 to 9 weeks, fire an M16. We have a mock Vietnamese village. We'll train you how to approach it and shoot your 45. Because your 45 is your issue as a corpsman."
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't know that you could enlist in the Navy and then they could just transfer you to a different military branch.
Well, what you have to understand is every Marine will never admit that they're part of the Navy.
Oh.
The Marines are part of the Navy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Like we talked about before, the only military of any kind in my family is my grandfather. Both of them that were in World War II. One in the Pacific and one in Europe.
Ask any Marine if they're part of the Navy, they will deny it.
Why?
They're too tough. They're too macho. They don't want to be associated with the Navy. They're Marines.
So from that moment, you got that draft card.
Mm-hmm.
When did you set foot in Vietnam?
Never went. All of us were going to go to Vietnam. We all went to hospitals to learn hospital stuff. I was at Charleston Naval Hospital, had orders to Vietnam on a Saturday by a not-so-nice E7 chief, And I was in charge of all the hospital records for all the nurses, doctors, and corpsmen and corpsways. Nobody knew my job, and I made sure that nobody knew my job. Monday, the 7 says, oh, you have to go see the commanding officer of Charleston Naval Hospital. And I went over and stood up tall, and he says, Seaman Cohn, I've canceled your orders. Nobody knows your job, so I'm keeping you here to train a new person. Never went. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Yeah, so you didn't go there at all, huh?
It's all you know. All you know, Joe.
I've heard that a million times.
29 Palms next, Camp Hansen, Okinawa, Camp Foster, Okinawa, when I made E5, which is a medical warehouse.
So was that the intention, was to go in and to the medical side of this in the hospital?
It was my 5th choice on my enlistment. My number 1 choice was quartermaster on the bridge where you're driving the ship, because my dad said you always want to be where the action is, and knowing the captain and all that.
Gotcha.
But my 5th choice, I didn't have a 5th choice, and the recruiters will tell you anything. Next week we're going to give you $1 million. Yeah. That won't happen.
Yeah, right.
So he says, why don't you put down corpsman? You'll be aboard ship. You'll be in sick bay. You won't have to be sleeping with 30 other guys in a small room. You can sleep in the sick bay. Great deal. Oh, okay.
I don't understand. Like, how if you get drafted?
I wasn't drafted. I joined the Navy
that's
before
right.
I was drafted.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because it was coming.
Oh, yeah. They sent me a letter, said you will get notice to be drafted. And actually, I got my draft notice in Navy boot camp in San Diego.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, you lucked out, huh?
All you know.
When you came back, so you didn't go.
Never went to Vietnam.
I thought a lot about this when you and I talked, and one of the things that I thought about from just sort of that mental health side was coming home from Vietnam and what everybody experienced. Because as a kid, yeah, but I can't say. I mean, I've read about it. I've watched it in movies. I've seen, all the movies about Vietnam. I've seen all that stuff. I've read about it. It's a fascinating war,
No, I was in Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand putting up MASH units in old French airstrips because they wanted alternative landing sites in case you got shot and couldn't make it back to base in Vietnam.
Were we supposed to be in Laos and Cambodia?
We never were there.
Right.
So we were fighting the NBA there.
Gotcha.
Not the Viet Cong, more so the NBA, yeah.
Was it?
From China, NBA from China.
So you're setting up MASH unit. God, I used to love that show, by the way.
Yeah.
TV show,
similar,
MASH.
Similar.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And just medical triage center kind of thing.
My medical warehouse in Camp Foster, Okinawa, had a complete MASH unit. Everything you can imagine for a MASH unit. The tents and the medical gear and the x-ray.
So how long were you there?
In Okinawa?
No, in Laos, Cambodia, setting up those.
Year and a half, 18 months.
Was it crazy? I mean, did you see, was there a lot of action where you were, or you just kind of bouncing, setting things up, and then going to the next place?
Lost 7 Marines.
Is that what that is? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was coming home hard?
I flew home to Norton Air Force Base. Then I went over to L.A. and got a flight to San Francisco. I'm standing in the parking lot waiting for my ex-wife, and I have 2 seed bags, my Marine Corps seed bag and my Navy seed bag, and I have a broken arm. And these hippie-type people come by and threw feces and eggs at me.
Really?
Covered, head to toe.
How'd that feel? Did it make you angry, or were you just sad about it?
It really smelled, and it was really and it was really wet.
It's so confusing when people of my generation think about that, right? The idea that you can go serve your country and come back and have that happen. And I think, you think it was a lot because of the way it was covered? Like, it was kind of the first war on TV, right? Like, things were coming back and footage, and then it became such a...
and people didn't elect to go. I mean, most people didn't.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
It wasn't your choice, And
Right.
and some did, I had friends that, elected to go.
What year was that you came back?
73.
Oh, okay. So that was sort of when everybody was, there was more protesting, everything was going on then.
Right.
Versus earlier than that. Did you go there thinking that it was the right thing to do?
No, not really.
No? Were you confused about
I mean,
it?
my dad, was pro-military.
Sure.
But
I mean that conflict.
But I had so many people. Probably, God, a lot of my football team never came home, And why were we there,
Yeah.
I know President Johnson had a rubber plantation there.
Really? So when you came home, did it really affect the way you look at this government?
No, I
How
just
could it not?
went back to college. My daughter was born at 29 Palms, and I got her situated with her parents. I didn't see her for 18 months, my wife or my daughter. So that was hard.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
No cell phones, just writing letters.
One of my nieces is actually at 29 Palms now with her husband, who's in the military out there. They
Yeah, we
have
just
two
had a
little kids.
dispensary. We didn't have a hospital. Now I believe they have a big hospital.
I think so.
No air conditioning in the house or in the car.
I just did a podcast with a friend of mine out at Fort Irwin, which is sort of a war games place, right, where they just go practice everything and do all that. It was fascinating to be out there. Fascinating.
It was hot.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
No air conditioning, pregnant wife, 9 months pregnant. No air conditioning in the house or in the car was tough.
Dude, how do you not just flip out on people that throw shit at you, like literal shit at you when you come home?
If I could have caught him, I would have beat him with my plaster cast.
Yeah, right. I don't even understand that. You know what I mean? It's fucking absurd.
Yeah, they actually made 2 rotations and threw more stuff.
Were you the only one?
No, I was just standing in the parking lot. Yeah. And then I got out at Treasure Island,
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that I don't even know what that is.
Treasure Island? It's the island between...
I know where it is.
Yeah.
I was a kid here. And I used to think it was literally like a treasure island when I was a little kid, right? Is it a military base?
Navy.
Oh, gotcha. Is it still?
No.
Where's it now?
I think they're putting condos there.
I think you're right. I think I drove through there and saw it.
I think they're putting condos. Good view.
Yeah, right. Weird traffic situation.
Oh, traffic's terrible.
There's no way to
We
get
think
in and
the
out.
traffic here is bad.
Oh, my Lord. Please.
No,
Please.
we do.
How long you been in Eureka?
Moved here. My ex-wife wanted to move back to California, and I said no farther south than here because I wanted to be in a cool climate. What year did you move here? 82, 83.
Oh, wow. You've been here a while.
Yeah.
I have some family history here that's not great. My grandmother and my 2 uncles were here, and they were all addicts. They all passed away here.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I didn't really know them either. You know what I mean? I knew about them and everything, but so Eureka's always been sort of a weird place for me.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to hide out at the time, so I worked on a cattle ranch and cattle and sheep ranch, doing cowboying and maintenance.
Really?
Yeah. And then after 10 years, my ex-wife goes, well, I don't want to be a wife or mother anymore. So she left me with my 2 daughters and took off. So that was hard.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision.
After 20 years.
So what year is that, like 92 or something?
Being married, yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So that was hard.
Yeah, I'm sure that was hard.
Yeah.
Coming out of the military. So you didn't do a career in the military. You did what you had to do.
I would have liked to have stayed.
Because your father was a career military guy.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have stayed, but they said I would have been back in the States probably 6 months, and then they definitely would have sent me to Vietnam.
When did Vietnam end? 70?
I think it was 75.
I was going to say 5.
I think it was 75. So I got, back in 73, 6 months leave, or 6 months, at some base here, Marine Corps base.
Right.
And then they would have sent me to Vietnam, yeah. And my odds were, I think there was only 3 of us out of our school that didn't die in Vietnam, because they were all platoon corpsmen, in the jungle.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean out of your high school?
No,
your
out of
school.
the hospital corps.
I got you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Good target.
Wow.
We were always taught you shoot the officer first, the radioman, so there's no communication, and then medical, so there's no medical for the platoon. So that was the 3 you would shoot.
Start pulling patches off your uniform, so you're not identifiable.
No, nothing. No. And if you did, you'd say, "Hey, you're an idiot."
Yeah. Right.
No rank, no insignia for officers, or no cross. See, during Korea, on the helmets of the medics and corpsmen, they had a cross. And the North Koreans, that was a good target.
Right.
As the cross.
Yeah, I'd always heard it about officers.
And officers, too.
Yeah, seen it and stuff. Wow. I don't even know. Honestly, man, like, we're the generation, we didn't have a war. You know what I mean? And when I look at now my kids, my daughter was born in 2001, my son in 2005. And we've been at war, we've had kids in this country their entire lives.
And we always will.
Yeah, it seems that way. But we had that period of time in the 80s where there was a couple of police action. I think Grenada and some other things happened, right? But we weren't in full-blown war. I mean, I was born when it was going on, but I didn't know anything, right? So by 74, I'm 7. 75, I'm 8 or whatever. So, but we look back and our generation was just, we kind of skated through everything. Those of us that grew up in the late 70s and the 80s, Gen X. So it's hard for me to understand sometimes what people go through. Like, I've got friends that were in the military that chose to go into the military, and they were in weird the drug war in Colombia, that kind of stuff that happened, but never full war, because even when the Gulf stuff started, that first one was 4 days? And George Sr. was there and president. And then when the next one started, that wasn't our generation, 2001. So I don't really have a lot of contact with people that did that. And nobody in my family really. It's interesting. I have one uncle that went to Vietnam.
Pretty scary.
Yeah.
Because you knew if you were going to be, seriously, if you knew you were going to be drafted, you're going to Vietnam.
Yeah, and it's a different war, right? It wasn't what we'd seen in this country before.
No, never.
Uniforms, everyone's Santa Claus. This was a different deal, and I'm sure it was terrifying. And as a kid, I was at the age that you went there, and I think about my grandfather, I was at the beach when I was 18 to 21.
I had a neighbor 2 doors down that took his dad 45 and shot his foot so he wouldn't go to Vietnam.
Can you blame
And
him?
I had a lot of friends that went to Canada.
I was just going to ask.
Canada was big during that time.
It was a scary war, and I wonder, how many people left because they were scared of that war. Just some people just didn't believe in it. There's both, right?
Well,
there's two kinds of people.
Casualty rate was so high.
Right. Right.
If you were in the jungle, in a platoon. Like the movie Forrest Gump, where he was in the jungle.
Yeah. That was a great movie. I was thinking about the Vietnam movies because after we left, we were talking about Band of Brothers, and I was thinking about the Apocalypse Now and the different things and movies that were made over there. Some good ones.
That part when he was in Vietnam was really right on. The rain and the sun and the humidity and the bombs and the shooting.
And you're just a kid.
Pretty right on, yeah.
Just a kid, man.
Just out of high school.
How did it affect you think?
Well, luckily, I never had to go to Vietnam, so I was really lucky.
I have a friend whose father was a helicopter pilot. He flew wounded in and out of those hot zones and everywhere. He struggled. He really struggled afterwards.
Those guys were unbelievable.
As a pilot, man, he just struggled afterwards. But it was interesting. You and I were talking today. He became an artist. He does art, with metal and things like that. And we're talking about that outlet people need to have.
You have to. Almost every vet I know has some sort of artwork or metalwork, or I have woodworking.
Right. So you get out of Vietnam.
No.
You get out of the military. Let's do that. You get out of the military in 74. Then what happens? You
went back to Cal Poly and got my BS degree.
Oh, gotcha.
Always wanted to live on a ranch, and so I got my teaching credential and taught vocational agriculture in the FFA program
Oh, right.
for 10 years in Washington, and then I was a paramedic
At the high school level, is that what that is?
the high school.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then my neighbor was the volunteer fire department fire chief, and he comes over and says, "I understand you were a corpsman, and we need a paramedic, so I'm signing you up." So I did. So I did that too. Yeah.
Did you retire out of that? Is that when you?
No. It was just volunteer.
Gotcha. But I mean, as far as the FFA stuff, so that was.
No, just 10 years. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then did that bring you back down here?
Yeah. My ex-wife wanted to move back here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You've been here since '82, you said.
Yeah, I think it was 83, 82, 83.
What'd you do for work here?
I worked on a sheep and cattle ranch in Maple Creek. Kind of wanted to hide out a little bit.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
It was great. Horseback, loved it.
When did you start this work that you do? When did working with veterans really start?
I think after I married my wife now, I was going more to the VA, for medical conditions because I have Agent Orange and now Parkinson's. And so I have to go to San Francisco, Fort Miley VA Hospital for the Parkinson's and Agent Orange in neurology.
When you say you had Agent, what do you mean? I don't understand that. I saw it here. Mm-hmm. What do you mean you have it?
Agent Orange has conditions of cardiac in a lot of vets from
exposure to it.
From exposure to Agent Orange.
Where were you exposed?
In Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to completely, your air base, you want to completely defoliate. Oh. So they sprayed the Agent Orange. But I think Dow Chemical did really well.
You think?
Monetarily.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
But there's a lot of conditions. I had bladder cancer, prostate cancer. They sent me to Stanford to the Neurological Autonomic Disorder Clinic for my tachycardia that I have. So there's a lot of different scenarios that a lot of vets have from
and you think all trace back to that?
Yeah, that's what Stanford says. You definitely were traced back to your Agent Orange exposure. Yeah.
So you started working with these guys? I mean, you had this...
Yeah. I just saw so many vets that the VA, unfortunately, wouldn't tell where to go, who to call, who to see. And I go, hey, this is not right. So I have a pamphlet, that I give vets, who to call, where to go, who to see, if you need this help. And the first page says if you wait for the VA to call, the phone will never ring.
I saw that.
So you have to be proactive. If you need help, call.
Are these guys pretty good about doing that? I would think that the levels of depression and anxiety and everything else in this country in general are just skyrocketing. I mean, I have anxiety, depression issues.
There's just not enough counselors.
Right. Everyone wants to throw a pill at it, and I struggled with that. I did it for a little while. My wife knows I couldn't do it. That was a nightmare for the psychiatrist that was working with me because I just didn't understand it. I had to find different ways to deal with my anxiety and my depression, and for me it was a lot of just exercising, just kind of getting up every day and just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to be productive.
That's what helps me, helping vets. And I started with an American flag in the back, and then my friend Kyle, who works and does, graphics, and we just kind of went on and on and on.
Man, it's amazing.
But we just lost 2 counselors at Redwood Counseling Center and Henderson Center, and Tanya Tom, the director, says the VA has a hiring freeze. Well, how can we have a hiring freeze when we send millions and billions of dollars overseas, but we can't help the vets and get counseling? There's over 30 vets a day that commit suicide. Over 30 commit suicide every day. And we don't have enough money to get more counseling.
That's an overwhelming number.
Over 30. Yeah.
Wow.
And the VA can't help vets, and we have to have Wounded Warriors, which is a nonprofit. Tunnel Food Towers, which is a nonprofit. And our military cannot support helping vets, but we have to have nonprofits to help vets. I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah. I'm glad we have it,
Sure.
but I don't get that the military and the government won't step up. Yeah.
And it can't, you know what's interesting is it can't just be a financial thing, right? I mean, it is. It's a lot of money, but it just can't. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, these guys need help, and they did what they're supposed to do. So as much as there's a lot of things politically I don't align with in certain things, you know, but taking care of these guys and women and people that go over there and do this thing seems to be like it should be in the forefront of a lot of things. I remember when 9/11 happened, okay, and I remember sitting on the couch that day, and I remember looking at my buddy and going, man, I wish we could take this one on the chin. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, this is going to go on forever. I just wish that we could say, okay, world, we're done. And just bring people home and take care of our people here. I remember that gut feeling at the time.
Never happened.
I know. But I remember thinking, God, what if we could just come home and take care of our people? You know, and you hear about this stuff with the military. I've got a friend who did a lot of crazy, I don't know how to speak to this stuff because I'm not from the military or anything, but Frenchie, he'll know when he sees this, if he sees it. He did some crazy stuff in the 90s for this government. And between the pills he was taking to get these things done, laying in a ditch for 5 days in the Middle East, you know, trying to do some recon and stuff that he did over there, and some crazy stuff in Eritrea, Ethiopia. Now he's messed up. And he is just now in the last few years, and he's just a little younger than me, 52 or something like that. He is just now getting counseling.
Good.
Yeah. But it took him a long time. And the point of that was I don't necessarily think it was for lack of counseling. I think he didn't want it either. I think these guys are trained in a certain way to where you got to be strong, you got to be this thing. And then to break down as men or military guys, you know, they do black ops stuff. It's hard.
And heaven forbid you cry.
Right. Yeah. You know, and my partner and I talk a lot about the idea that, you know, this is men talking to men about these things. And we want to get through these conversations with other men and have these things. I'm okay. I'm okay with crying. I'm okay. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about it, but it is hard for men.
What's really nice about Redwood Counseling Center, which is in Henderson Center, is they have group counseling, which I'm not a group counselor person, but the counselors that we do have are ex-military. Now, the counseling at the VA clinic, I think, is good, but they really don't know where your head's at. You know, they haven't been there, and so, but yet Tanya can't get 2 more counselors because one moved away for family and the other one retired because of a hiring freeze. I mean, come on, you know. Not right.
So I was going to ask you that. I think you've just answered it, but like if you could pinpoint something where these guys need the one help that it'd be counseling, huh? Just have more people to talk to, like skilled people to talk to.
I mean, there's numbers you can call on the phone, but I mean, come on.
Depending on
You need a one-on-one interaction.
Well, sure, and depending on the mental illness, those calls
Right.
don't do much, you know, depending on what we're dealing with, you know, and there's a lot of things out there. You know, we talk about the idea that everybody's got something. Nobody's immune from this one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we've all had trauma and things in our life that exacerbate that stuff, right? And I've been very lucky with my wife, and I think my son having some issues has really helped me. You know, part of doing this too is trying to learn how to be a better listener and to hear things actually. You know, and participate with
It's
people's
like
stories.
that sign I gave you, you know, everybody has a story and I want to hear it. You
Yeah.
know, I think that's really important that you do that.
It is.
Because a lot of the vets I see, you know, I say, hey, you know, how can I help you? And that opens them up to tell me their story. And I think that helps them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, because a lot of us don't know how to have the conversation, right? Yeah. You know, it's not, hey, why are you broken? You know what I mean? But there's things people need to talk about, and a lot of us don't have that skill set, you know, or the knowledge of how to do it.
Well, and I want to be careful that I don't overstep my boundaries. You know?
Right.
And so I give them information of where to go, whether it's neurology or orthopedics or urology or counseling or whatever. My avenue is to inform them,
So you put together that whole pamphlet. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
I have one of them you gave me, but where are you finding these guys to give it to? Are they just passing through? Or is it just anywhere you go?
My friend says your van's a magnet.
It is.
And I'm fortunate that people come up and, or I see them at the VA, or like the other day, a guy came in the VA and they said, oh, go to the ER. Well, if you go to the ER here, you're looking at 8 hours because of all the homeless.
Right.
And I go, no, you can go to Redwood Urgent Care. It's VA authorized. They don't do cardiac or abdominal, but you don't need to go to the ER and wait 8 hours. Well, the people at the VA don't tell these people that. I mean, come on.
You think it's because they don't care to tell them, or they just kind of forget? They're just so busy. Like, it just seems like such a simple thing to tell them.
There's no leadership. We had an amazing lady by the name of Darcy. Amazing. She's gone. They never rehired. There's no leadership. So everybody's, And I go to the front desk and I go, do you have the number for Redwood Urgent Care? What's that? Do you know Tanya Tom over at Redwood Counseling Center? Who? Who has a program in neurology in San Francisco? I don't know. What about the new South Santa Rosa clinic that they just built? I don't know anything about it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you would think the VA hospital would be so invested in helping veterans.
This is the VA clinic, It's just a Band-Aid,
Oh, gotcha.
They give you immunizations. A lot of times they'll, send you.
So with the medical stuff you've gone through, do you do it here? Or do you have to go somewhere?
Pretty much my stuff with the Parkinson's and Agent Orange and neurology and the bladder cancer and the prostate cancer. I had to go to the VA hospital in San Francisco.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you have to have surgery for that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Chemo and the whole bit?
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that?
I think 2007 was my last prostate cancer.
Oh, wow.
That they removed, yeah.
All good now? I mean, they're doing pretty good?
Yeah, it's just the neurological issues, and the Parkinson's. It's
When were you diagnosed with Parkinson's?
last year. And they said, Stanford, said it's Agent Orange-related is what they told me.
Is there any recourse for that? I mean, do you have any, does the
can-
military
you-
help you because of that? Or do you get...
You can apply, for compensation, but I think they're hoping you all die before they have to give you any money.
Right. It would probably drag it out long
But
enough.
I know there's some guys that have got it, but I haven't so far got it.
Well, it's so much later, right? I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's only been over 60 years, huh?
I fished with a guy the other day in Oregon who had Parkinson's, right? And there's a program up there in the Oregon prison system where they're training these dogs for Parkinson's. His dog knows 54 commands. And when what did he say to me? He sort of stops functioning, like he'll just kind of stop walking, and his dog can sense what's going on. He has this handle that comes off of him, and his dog will grab it and then walk him to the car or walk him to help. And it's a really amazing program for that. But I didn't even know they could train dogs for Parkinson's like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know
It really is.
A friend of mine's daughter has diabetes, the juvenile diabetes. And I know there's dogs that can tell these people, that they...
Oh, the blood sugar.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, I mean, she has the implant, but I mean, there's, and that's why I got it. When I was paramedic with a volunteer fire department, I had a Dalmatian, and I mean, everybody with a fire department has a Dalmatian, right?
Yeah, right. At least they did in the cartoons when I was a kid.
But anyway, I just wanted another one, and she's my go-to, hopefully be my service dog,
Do you have to get it certified to do that? Mm-hmm. You're going to do that?
Yeah.
You take her everywhere. You know what I mean? You get a lot of comfort out of having that dog, huh?
I do.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, he's helped me through a ton. I think part of the thing I started doing, I had really bad panic attacks and just depression and stuff, just trauma as a kid, and as an adult, some self-inflicted, don't get me wrong. But he's helped me a ton just having a dog. I've had a dog, my own dog, for I don't even know how long now.
They're good listeners.
Yeah, they are. I don't say a lot, right? Doesn't want to interrupt.
Never talk back.
Right. Well, I have a dog that talks back. I'm gonna disagree with that one. You find that helping these guys helps you?
Oh, 100%. I don't know what I would do without helping these guys. It's my everyday focus.
Yeah.
24/7. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back.
No.
Don't get me wrong.
No.
I
I totally, believe me, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not, it just, I don't know what I'd do without it, helping them.
And it just kind of snowballed. You just started with just kind of participating, and then next thing you know, you were just, did you make a mental decision like, hey, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, having them tell me non-information issues, so I was just developing this packet of information, and then I go to FedEx and, pay them to run them off,
Yeah, the packet that he's talking about is 25 pages, maybe?
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
Of just, I love the first page too, like what you were saying. I forgot exactly word for word.
If you're waiting for the VA to call, the phone will never ring.
Right.
Be proactive.
Right. So he gives these packets out to people, and it's everything from discounts where they can get food to, I went through the whole thing. It's really.
And ask. Any store you go into, hardware store, Ace Hardware is wonderful. They give a VA discount.
Right.
Just ask. All they can say is no.
Are most of these guys you're dealing with young?
No. No, I've got 2 guys that are World War II still.
Holy cow.
100 and...
I was just going to say, they got to be 100 years old.
Yeah.
These guys are
all the way to... a friend of mine, Nick, just drove with another Army Ranger who they were in Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and they just decided to move to Alaska. And 80 hours from here to Wasilla, which is near Anchorage.
Okay.
And that's where they're living now. Yeah. And they drove up the old Alaska Highway.
Do you see, what I'm just thought about when you were talking is the idea that they're World War II, Vietnam, Korea, you got all these people that served the Gulf stuff, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, all this stuff. Are the issues all kind of the same? You know what I mean? Like, are the younger guys that are suffering, is it the same sort of thing these other guys are suffering from? Or is it just
different issues, different scenery, but they all go into the VA clinic or the VA hospital and they're in pain either mentally or physically.
Yeah, a lot of depression
or physically.
Gotcha.
Everyone I see at the VA clinic here, sitting, waiting to see somebody, I know is either in physical pain or mental pain. They're not just there laughing. They wouldn't be there if they were 100%. They're there for a reason to get help.
I guess the question, what I meant was, is there more? I'm not sure about the term PTSD. You know what I mean? But is there more of that now than the physical stuff? Does it seem like the mental health stuff's growing at all, or did they just kind of always been the same?
Well, World War II, they called it shell shock.
Right.
I think it's just a different name. And
my grandfather actually, when they crossed out of Hersken Forest, came into a village. They were the first ones to kind of get into Germany, cross the Siegfried Line, and he had. I'm going to give you the tapes. I think you'd be interested to listen to them.
I would love it.
It's really cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. But he had something happen, and he really had a nervous breakdown. And so he was sent back into France somewhere.
Shell shock.
Yeah, exactly. But he ended up sleeping like the same foxhole he dug the year before, and he ended up in the middle of the Battle of the Bulge. So he didn't really get out, but he used to use that term, shell shocked.
Same. I think it's the same scenario.
Just a different terminology that's grown.
And then Korea was something else. I forget what. It was a different saying.
And then what was Vietnam? Was it PTSD, or that wasn't around, was it? That's fairly new, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I asked that because we have so much. I just see it like with my son, and even my daughter has anxiety, but she's She's doing great, and he's struggling. But and because of my own mental health issues and just looking into this and talking to people, it just seems so epidemic.
Maybe we're just more aware. I don't know.
Maybe it's the culture here in this country.
Could be.
Maybe it's the angst that we put on each other in this country. You know what I mean?
Could be.
The idea that,
I honestly don't.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how things have changed like that. I don't remember that when I was younger, it being so prominent.
I never once, ever.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about it. I don't know. I don't really know what the issue is. But I was curious about when the vets come in, is it more mental stuff or physical stuff? It's just everything, huh? It's just life.
I mean, my dad would never talk about it. He was torpedoed twice and had kamikazes hit his ship, He wouldn't talk about it,
Yeah, my grandfather didn't talk about it. The only thing I heard, I had both. My grandfather was in the Pacific. I remember him telling me once, I asked him about it. I don't know how old I was. But he was gunning on a boat, and he was literally shooting kamikaze pilots. He was in the Navy. He said his tears would run down his face every day. And he was discharged at one point because he shot himself in the hand cleaning his gun below deck. And the thought was that he was just couldn't take it anymore.
Could be.
Yeah, and my other grandfather was like, he didn't talk much about it. It was too gnarly. He saw it was bad in World War II. But I don't associate like what he went through and all that with PTSD and things like that, because that language wasn't around.
Well, I know Pam's, my wife's brother got back. He was on an artillery base on top of a hill, and they got overrun by the Viet Cong. And he came back and had a lot of mental issues, but he never talked about it.
Right.
And he was wounded, and most of the guys were killed, and they got overrun, and he took another man's body and put it over the top of him, like, he wouldn't, and then they finally left, and so that saved him, So he has a lot of issues.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
I don't even...
A lot of issues. But he was lucky, that
he made it.
That he made it, and luckily there was somebody that had died, and he could pull him over the top of his, him.
Yeah, that trauma, that kind of stuff. I don't understand how it's. I'm just babbling, but I don't even understand how you cope with that, and I feel for those guys. I really do. And I'm not a military person, and I'm not a this and that, but the idea of supporting our troops and that thing, like I saw in your 100%.
But the police officers and the firemen now too have a lot. What they see every day. I mean, my nephew just retired as a police officer, and I have friends that retired or are in the fire department. What they see every day.
Right.
Right. Is pretty amazing.
That's what I said earlier about like the idea that this country specifically, there's something going on with these guys. It's hard to figure out. Helping those guys is really an honorable thing, and I appreciate you sharing this stuff with me. You know what I mean? Because it's exactly what we're talking about. That selfless sort of doers, right? You just do it because it's good for you too.
It helps me every day.
Day. That and the Birdhouses, right?
Yeah, I come out my shop and I lock the door so my wife can't come in, and turn on music.
I'm gonna learn that trick.
Turn on music and pot of coffee in my heater, and have my dog Blue Dalmatian in there with me.
Yeah.
We talk about a lot of issues, and I have my cell phone if somebody wants to call.
Yeah, no, it's good for you.
Yeah.
It's good to have those things, that release. Like I said, I play music. I have a ceramic studio at home. I don't do that enough. Once my daughter was still living at home, we did it because she was taking it too in school. And now she just moved back for a while, so I'm looking forward to being able to go in there and just work in ceramics with her. It's therapeutic.
Yeah, I took a ceramics class. My nurse, Ella Price, started the clay program at College of the Redwoods with Joe, who's an Air Force vet. Just, the feel of the clay and
spins. It's hypnotic. You get kind of lost. I was compared to like fly fishing, right? Anything anybody does that they have any real passion for, there's this moment where you can't be any more present. Like for me, when I'm throwing the fly around in the air, dry fly, I can think about anything. I can think about my wife or work or what's going on. Where's Oliver? You know, but as soon as that thing hits the water, like it's just everything disappears, and that's really healthy for me to just get as present as possible. You know, the idea be where your feet are, you know, and just touch grass for a little bit.
It's a good escape for me.
Yeah,
you know, that I can do that. And,
right. This is the first time Blue's come up and let me pet her.
she's warming up to you.
Yeah, we'll get a camera shot of Blue at one point. She's so sweet. But yeah, so I totally understand the need for that stuff, and I probably understand it too well. You know, driving around talking to people, meeting people like you, and putting just highlighting some of this stuff. You know, that people are out there doing, so that maybe people can see that you don't. There doesn't really have to be payment for anything, right? You just go do it because it's good and it feels good.
No,
and it's good for people.
You know, my wife, I don't think she really understands, you know, do you really have to come back with more stickers on your van? Do you really have to you know, buy this vet a cup of coffee or this person a cup of coffee? Hey, you can't take it to your grave.
Right,
you know?
right.
So why not help somebody, you know?
We're going to put a big neighborhood sticker on that truck, aren't we? Okay, good.
This big. And it's flashing.
How funny would that be? Just big neighborhood down the road. I'll just take a little one.
Hey,
Anything.
it works for me. I'll do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome. I'm going to look at something real quick here.
Yeah, just some stuff that, you know.
You know, it's thinking about the idea that the van and how people react to it. Good, bad, and different.
I still get flipped off a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like,
Yeah.
there's been so many things that have been hijacked in so many different directions now. You know what I mean? You and I touched base on a little earlier today that people are so politics first, right? Like, they lead with it. And I'm always like, your politics are probably the least interesting thing about you. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's I don't talk about it. It's not what this is about. But yeah, I could see a van like that drawing really big attention from both sides. Like that van, the way it's set up, the way it looks. I love it, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. It got me here. You know, I mean, you're drawing some attention that's good.
But what's really nice, when I come to a traffic light, they honk, and I look over, and they're flipping me off. And now I just blow them a kiss.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do, Joe.
They don't.
They do not know. What did he do?
Yeah, it's like a dog when it's like thinking about something. Like, well, it just happened over there. No, good for you, because a lot of people get mad about it, but I don't. It's going to do that, right? But it's also doing good, right? Because these guys are finding you, so it's worth that other stuff. For you,
I don't know if
think.
it's the Eagle or the red van. I don't know.
I think it's all getting hijacked through the MAGA thing, and the support our troops is lumped into one thing. So you drive down the road, everyone's going to throw Trump at you, or you do this, and it's really not about that. This is, and I want to talk about that. It's not about MAGA or Trump, and this is literally, you're a doer. This is about supporting troops, supporting the police, supporting the fire department. I'm going to put pictures of your van. I will leave the license plate out, but I'm going to put pictures so people can see this is not unilaterally one thing.
Well, and I have a really good friend. I've never known a POW before. And I have a really good friend, John
Really?
Mitchell, who was a POW in a North Korean prison for 9 months for some horrendous things that they did to them every day. No food, eating ants and cockroaches or whatever was crawling, taken into a small room and beaten every day to try to get information that they really already knew, you know, for 9 months. I mean, so I honored, you know, the POWs. I have a POW flag at my house, and you know, putting that in my van to honor any POW that was in that situation, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. That's what I meant. Like, but now any of those things, you know, if I want to put an American flag on my car or fly one in front of my house, I get lumped into something now, and I get people are identifying it as something, and it's all been hijacked.
People are afraid to do that.
They are, and rightfully so. We're not. This is as political as we'll get. I'm not your enemy because I don't vote like you, right? I'm not. We should be able to disagree, and that's okay. It doesn't. I'm not your enemy.
I don't have any problem.
Right. You know what I mean? But we're not in that place anymore. And so flying those flags and those symbols and things, support our troops, does get lumped into other things now. Whether or not that person's aligned there doesn't matter. Yours says support our troops because you literally support our troops. You know what I mean? And that's the value of that is sometimes lost.
I think the thing that really bothers me the most is people do not appreciate how damn lucky they are to live here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we take it for granted as Americans.
That is a big issue with me.
Sure. Yeah. And I think, again, a lot of that goes back to what we were talking, like the idea that I just think there's something going on in this country that we probably won't know about for a while, really, and between the invention of cell phones and the internet and all this other stuff that happens, I think there's a mental health crisis in this country that is very specific to this country. There's mental health issues everywhere with human beings, but there's something about this country and the way that we interact with each other, or maybe it's the food, or I don't know what it is at this point, that's very different. It's very specific to the United States, and so I think that what you're doing for people and reaching out is huge. It's huge.
No, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, I think that people are gonna. I hope that people can see this and be like, "Oh, that is a doer." It's not about money. It's not about an organization. It's not about all this stuff. It's just about it takes care of you, which is sort of that symbiotic thing, right? Like you take care of you do this thing, and in return, it's taking care of you.
Right. I just feel honored to help.
Yeah. So, College of the Redwoods, they have a program there you were telling me about.
It's like, I think it's 12 sessions. I was on the first program that Ella Price started with Joe, who was the Air Force vet, who teaches the clay class there. I mean, some guys just want to feel the clay and talk. They don't want to throw a pot or anything. So just that interaction with other vets in a clay environment and feeling the clay and is huge. And we have a veterans garden where a lot of vets come and just want to hang out in the veterans garden.
Is that also through the College of the Redwoods?
No, it's through the VA clinic with
Okay.
Ella Price.
So we'll have to talk about that too.
Okay.
I'd really like to get an introduction to the College of the Redwoods people. I'd love to go donate some clay, some tools, that kind of thing, and just help to continue that program. You know what I mean? That would be something I'd really enjoy doing. Like I said, I started doing ceramics when I was 14. And I've done everything from work as a potter, throwing planters every day.
Never could throw a pot though.
Yeah,
never could do that.
Yeah, it's
made a lot of nice clay stuff. But never could throw a
pinch
pot.
pots and coil pots, right? Slab rollers. Yeah, but I'd love to go participate in that. I think that would be great, and to do a little demo, maybe help those guys learn how to make something, plate,
and
like that.
Ella and her husband Mike, who was a Air Force pilot, flew medevac and C-5As, where it was a actual hospital and a C-5A, out of country to Germany. Now he flies for United, and he's a surfer on the North Jetty here. They started a surfing class too, and then there's a fishing class or a fishing program where you can do that. So you can learn to surf, you can do clay, you can do gardening. So Ella and her husband, and so the nutritionist at the clinic, have really helped to have avenues, for people. Not that they'll come, but it's offered,
Is it hard to get them to come?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to talk about it, you think, or what is that?
No, I don't know if I think maybe they might want to just stay at home, watch TV, and be on the computer. I don't know.
Is that frustrating when you try to get these guys out and they're just
huge.
not doing? I mean, because you can't make somebody
no.
want something for themselves, right?
No. Yeah, I just tell them, I say, hey, I'll go for a walk with you with my dog and your dog, and we can do this or this or this, or, come to my wood shop and,
Do you ever have guys come in and into the wood shop?
Yeah.
They don't want to do it, huh?
I haven't found anybody yet. Yeah. But I make the offer,
Yeah.
Or I'll teach them how to weld, if they want to do the welding,
Yeah, that would be great, huh? Is this community pretty good about that stuff?
As far as
Participating with vets and wounded warriors and things like that? Or is it
really liberal? Humboldt State is a very liberal college. Yeah. Yeah, they had those protests here recently, and I think it's over $2.5 million damages and throwing frozen water bottles at police officers.
really?
Yeah, it was bad. In our situation, not like Columbia or Harvard or wherever,
Yeah.
but locally, I think it was bad. But it's a pretty liberal, I think, college, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the city of Arcata actually had an election to put the Earth flag above the American flag.
You were telling me that.
True story, yeah.
And that had to go to court, right?
Yeah.
Where they determined
No.
American flag goes on top.
And now they're appealing. Different individuals in Arcata are appealing it.
That's what I meant. It's a weird,
Yeah.
it's our country's in this weird place now.
And in the plaza in Arcata, that flagpole was donated, I think it was 59 or 57 by the American Legion in Arcata, with a plaque saying that it was donated to the city of Arcata in the plaza. And then they had the audacity to put the Earth flag above the American flag.
It's got to frustrate you a bit, huh?
All flagpoles in Arcata had the Earth flag above the American flag.
I'm going to notice it now because I'm staying in Arcata,
Well,
in the plaza.
Since then, they've changed it, but they are appealing it.
Oh, gotcha.
They want the Earth flag, and I have a picture that I put in your bag to show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I hear this right? Did you go down during the storm? I'm going to switch subject. Did you go down during the storms that came through and feed the Coast Guard? Did you help in that?
We have a program where we go to what's it called? In Ferndale. It's called a stand down, and they offer counseling and chiropractic and haircuts and you name it, clothing, tents, sleeping bags to anybody in need, and we do that every year. And the Coast Guard was amazing. They did the setup and the tear down, helping us, and then we did the American Legion in Arcata. We did breakfast and lunch one day, and it's a good thing where any person can come, and if you don't have she likes coffee. If you didn't have transportation, transportation was provided, to Ferndale.
How far is Ferndale from here?
It would be, for me, a good 20 minutes.
Okay. South, right?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, I think we just went.
Yeah.
I've been through it. It's a neat little town.
Yeah, I love Ferndale.
Yeah,
it's
me
at the
too.
fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then people would camp
And
out.
what was that organization called again?
It's called a stand down, and so any vet can come, and there's a lot of good volunteers, that help out. So, it's a good deal.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. I see this thing here. It says helps vets every day, where to go, who to see. Service Pup Blue, can't sleep, bad dreams. What's that?
I just,
Is that for you specifically?
yeah, I just
Gotcha.
working in the military, driving ambulance or working in the ER, delivery room, surgery, lost people,
Yeah.
and then
Have you ever been on medication for it?
for my depression.
Just things like that. I'm just curious because
Oh,
they
yeah.
put me on it and I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
deal there. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't take the sleep.
Yeah.
It whacked me out. Yeah.
But they give you other medication just for
Yeah,
mental health stuff.
For the anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just hard for me to sleep.
Me too.
And I'll wake up, with this issue. Or I lost, some Marines, and and did body bags and burned villages, overseas, and that was hard,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Still to this day, huh?
I think when you get out of the military, you get on with your life and you don't think of these issues. And I think for a lot of guys that I see, you retire and then you have this whole, you reflect, and you're not so busy. You don't have the family, you don't have the kids, you don't have the job. So then when you don't have that, you're sitting there maybe thinking about this or that, and then you think, oh, shoot, I lost this guy here. I lost this guy in Cambodia. I lost this guy in Thailand, and
Right.
and Johnny got shot, and Fred over here was blown up by a hand grenade or 105, and it just starts coming back in your head that you can't sleep, or
I get the feeling you would do just about anything for these guys, huh? The vets?
I give them my last dollar.
Yeah.
Can't take it to the grave anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But you might,
I'm very fortunate. My wife has a life estate here. We live here for free. I'm very blessed.
So let's talk about this real quick. So this,
Very blessed.
her grandfather,
Yeah. In 59, I believe it was, bought the ranch, right, as a dairy from the Calvazar family. And her dad didn't want to milk, so it was cow-calf.
and at that time, how many acres was it?
I'm guessing like 250 or
Okay,
something,
okay.
300. Because there was a dairy by the Ford dealership, a dairy between us and the Ford dealership. And then this was a dairy. You cannot have my coffee. and 101 wasn't here. There was just a one-lane road that went over Eureka Slough, to get people back and forth and get the milk into town. And then he got Parkinson's and sold a fishing. It was fishing game at that time. Now it's fish and wildlife because they don't want you to hunt or fish,
Right.
Heaven forbid.
Oh, and he sold it to them?
He did, and sold the ranch to them.
Oh.
And then part of the sale was making sure that Pam had a place to live, and they were still doing cow-calf at that time, And so she has 5 acres, a house, the barn, until she dies. Now, if she dies before me, I'm on the freeway. Fish and Wildlife won't let me stay.
So, and she can't amend that?
No. No, when we got
That's
married,
nuts.
she tried, and they wouldn't do it.
What if you guys had kids? Could they have it?
I don't know. Yeah, she never had.
Are they waiting for this land back? What are they going to do
Oh,
with
yeah.
it? Are they?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, nice house.
Yeah, how long have you been here?
I've been here 30 years, and she's been here, I believe, since 79.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we feel very blessed. We really do. So.
No, good for you. I think some people don't. Well, I think it's hard sometimes in just the craziness of raising families, to understand how blessed we are, right?
Feel
Like,
very
I know,
lucky.
I told you the other day, like, I come from poverty. Mm-hmm. It's not lost on me what I'm doing right now. I get it. And I think sometimes it's hard. It's hard to see it all.
I mean, we don't have the only neighbors over a mile away, and the freeway's over a mile away. So we're very lucky.
and you can't even see it from 101.
No, you can hear an ambulance or something or somebody honking, but
So
yeah.
before her grandfather built this barn?
No. I don't know who it was. It was before the Calvazar family.
Yeah, so you were telling
in
us-
1885.
So
yeah.
1885, this barn that we're sitting
Right.
in was built.
And it's all redwood.
Oh, it's all redwood.
And how do you build this amazing barn with no power tools or scaffolding or cranes or whatever?
You ever find any of the old nails? I mean, they're just like old handmade.
I have some for you before you leave.
Oh, it's so awesome.
You have a whole old nail barrel.
And this was that's so cool. And this was for hay. You were telling me earlier, right?
This center area was loose hay from the floor to the peak. And then they would hand milk over on the other side of the barn.
And did you notice,
And
Kel, the ladder?
And you'd climb up that ladder with a pitchfork to pitchfork it down to the cows.
You know, what was in here earlier, so I was looking because I wanted to shoot in here and everything. It wasn't until right now that I took a moment to look up at this ceiling.
It's pretty high.
Well, yeah, and just the way it's made. I mean, this is good work.
I don't see how they did it. No, I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be neat to see it, huh? Well, I think it's a beautiful building.
No, just the redwood alone in this building is worth a considerable amount of money in today's market.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about it on the way over here. The idea that just old barnwood, the fact that it's redwood changes it again. But old barnwood, I mean, I told you, I've bought old barnwood before in Fallbrook to make a table for my ceramic studio, or just my daughter wanted to have a place for record player, and so I got her old piece of wood, that kind of thing.
There was a man I met in Ferndale that he drove a Tesla, if that says anything. And he's from Mendocino. And he said, well, I'm just visiting up here, and I'm from Mendocino, and I hope they don't cut any more redwood trees. And I said, well, the ones that they did cut in 1885, they're stacked in my barn. I said, if you want to see it, you can come and visit me. And he goes, they're still cutting redwood trees? And I said, well, yeah. What do you think you use for toilet paper? What do you think you use to
redwood fence
to build your house?
Right.
I go, do you think they're not cutting trees anymore? I mean, come on. Anyway, he did drive a Tesla, though.
That's funny. You know, I just noticed a note here. Were you shot? It says shot in Cambodia?
Yeah.
Were you? Well, you make it sound like nothing was going on over there when you were there.
Well, there was, I lost 7 Marines. And,
Yeah.
And I was helping one, and, yeah, it wasn't any big deal, It was just a through and through,
In the gut?
Yeah, just through and through. Didn't hit any vital organs or anything, so I was very fortunate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I noticed that Nation's Finest.
That's a really good nonprofit. If you're homeless, have nowhere to live, they're here local. They'll find you housing. They'll pay your first month's transport your belongings if you have any belongings, and pay your security deposit. And it's a really good nonprofit here local.
Oh, they're local. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I don't really know where else they are, but I know they're local here. I'm assuming they're other places too.
I'm looking at notes that he gave me to just kind of reference on different things, because Tom and I have literally known each other for 30 minutes before this. So I appreciate this, but so I keep skipping subjects and going back and forth. But I look down every once in a while and go, "Oh man, look at that!" So Nation's Finest is local, huh? Or at least there's a local chapter.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And I don't know where else they are, to tell you. But I've sent. There was a man I saw 2 weeks ago at the VA, and he said, "Well, I'm from Phoenix, and I'm homeless, and they wanted to send him to the ER again." And I said, "Hey, I'll give you a ride, whatever you need." And I said, "Do you need housing?" And he said, "Yeah, I don't have anywhere to live." And I said, "Well, let me take you down to Nation's Finest and introduce you to the people there." And they found him housing, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah. And I saw him another time at the VA, and he said, "Hey, thank you." And I said, "Hey,
that's what I do.
That's my gig, man."
Yeah, right.
That's my gig.
Birdhouses and that.
Yeah. Do you want a birdhouse? I only have like 100 in the barn.
We're going to take some pictures of those, too. I know my wife is dying to get her hands on a couple of them.
There's a vet, Rusty, who opened up a coffee shop in Fortuna. And I think there's 51 handmade vendors there, and I have maybe 30 down there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Trying to sell them.
Yeah, of course.
Get a little extra money for gas or whatever.
Yeah.
But I got like 100 in the barn here. And maybe 10 in the shop,
Yeah, right. He's making ducks now, too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about the ducks.
Yeah.
Is it
out of my old growth redwood?
That's right.
that I have stacked up over here.
Old barnwood or just or cut?
No, it's the what was left when they built the barn
Oh,
in 1885. But I couldn't get the guy with the Tesla to come see it.
yeah, I got a Ford, and I'll come look at it. That's the difference, huh? You look for guys with Fords.
The expression on his face was pretty good.
Well, it's a beautiful barn.
Isn't it amazing?
It's really beautiful.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, I did a podcast up in Hood River at a place called The Ruins, and it was an old apple processing plant kind of thing. But really, I don't know what year, but it sort of had the same kind of vibe. Just like, oh yeah, amazing. And the way things are built.
When the light is coming down like this is now, and if it's like a red sunset, oh, pretty cool.
Yeah, not a bad place to hang out.
Quiet.
Yeah.
The wind blowing, Yeah, the slats, I was telling Kelly, are for ventilation. It's not that the barn's old. That was
No, right.
That was intentional. Yeah.
For the hay, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to come here again.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm going to come up and see you.
Mi casa, su casa.
I appreciate that. I wish your driveway was bigger. I'd bring the motorhome and camp here.
Well, if Fish and Wildlife would ever take away some of the willows there,
It fit no problem, right? You said when I met you, you had that sign, and I talked to you just about what I'm trying to do, and the idea of a corporation that has a responsibility to the community, and not legally but morally, And I was telling you what I was doing, and you said, "Wait, I've got something for you," and you went into your truck and you got me that sign.
Yeah, Kyle and I just had that done,
And
it was
everyone's got a story.
Yeah.
I just want to hear it.
Yeah.
And you looked at me and you
do.
said,
And
you
you
said, "Guy made me this sign, and I knew I'd find the man that I needed to give it to." And you gave it to me at that moment, and we'd only known each other a few minutes, right? And I thought, oh wow, that's pretty sharp, because I am that guy.
You are.
And I'm not kidding you when I tell you I have said that exact same sentence before
Probably.
to people. Everyone's got a story. Everyone's out there. I used to teach my kids all the time when they see someone that's homeless or they see someone that's struggling or maybe talking to himself or whatever it might be. Dad, look at that guy. Yeah, that guy's got a story. And to understand that about people. People go through some crazy stuff in life. And I just thought it was really intuitive, like the way you gave it to me. And it didn't take long for you to recognize that that's who I am and what I'm doing.
What you're doing.
Yeah.
What you are doing.
But I really appreciate it.
No.
And I appreciate you letting me come in here.
I feel honored to have you.
Likewise, we feel honored to do this with you. And I think the work you do for these guys is amazing. I know you didn't let me do anything for you, and I will eventually do something for you, whether you like it or not. I will. But I really want to go into the College of the Redwoods and participate in that program. So any help you can give me with that would be great.
Yeah, I have names and numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that I can help there. And it's not about money. It's about dropping off clay, maybe coming up periodically. And I come through here a lot.
Joe's a good guy. Joe is an amazing, amazing mentor to veterans and to the clay program.
Yeah, so I hope he'll be willing to let us
he
come
will.
in and just talk to people. There's a guy in, real quick before we go, there's a guy in Sun River. And his name's Josh. And he's a great guy. He owns a fly shop called The Hook. And he has participated for a few years, I think, with Healing Waters, taking these guys fly fishing. He provides the guides. He takes these guys fly fishing everywhere. And he's been wanting to do something on his own. And so we're doing a program up there for vets, PTSD and, wounded warriors. And we're taking them fishing. We're starting the first one in October.
That's a great program.
Yeah.
I mean, a great program.
Yeah.
It helps so many guys.
They have. And he felt like he wanted to do that same thing on his own now. So we came up with a name for it, and we're going to put hoodies out, and we're donating the money for him. So I really like it. I like the idea of getting these guys out there and just getting them to talk. And we don't have to get into salacious, gnarly. That's not what this is about.
No.
This is just about talking to people and letting them be heard and have a voice through this stuff. Providing some help. I'm really curious as to how programs like that help them. I want to talk to these guys, like how guys like you help these guys,
like I say, it's my honor.
Yeah. I appreciate you very much, man. And
Thank
thanks
you.
for doing this with
Thank
me.
you, and thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Thank
100%. No, really. And this is not the last you'll see of me.
Good. I
Yeah.
hope so.
No, for sure. For sure.
Good.
And
Thank
thanks,
you.
Kelly.
And thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Well, thanks, man.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Up the tip.